Hey friends, thanks for joining me and coming along with me in my video. I'm going to go on an adventure somewhere up in northern Nevada. I haven't been up there in a long time. I finally get to go up there and do some video shoots, in particular one called Pine Grove. If you guys like the content and you like the material, please hit the like button and the subscribe button. It helps out a lot. Let's go exploring. Yeah, here's another reason why we go out ghost town hunting, because we get to be in this beautiful area. You can see the high Sierras back out there and behind me in the distance. Just kind of give you a view of some of the areas we get to explore. Get a chance to get over here, and we'll go out to this place over here on the edge called Smith Valley, which is also in Nevada. And just get a chance to enjoy coming up here. It's a beautiful day. I'll put it in the background. That's called Smith Valley down there. A lot of agriculture going on. We're up about 8,000 feet right now. This is the rigs we use when we can't get up here in full-size trucks. Very dependable. Great trails. Here we are at Pine Grove. Pine Grove is in northern Nevada. It was an old gold town founded in the 1870s. At its heyday in the 1870s, where they claim there was about 600 residences in this valley. And I guess they had some more activity in early 1900. I don't know what that barn behind me is from, but one of a few structures that are still located here. Had a great ride over here. This has been one of the places I've wanted to come to for quite some time, and it's really worth the trip. So we'll go look at some more of these buildings around here. You know, when you read that plaque, there's a term there that's used that I was not familiar with. It's called arrastra. That's a word, a Spanish word, that means grinding, or literally translated to the word drag. While many people are familiar with this simple and crude version of arrastra, it's also true that the arrastra method evolved into much more elaborate mills that sometimes were housed in buildings and powered by water where water existed, and sometimes even powered by steam. This photo is of a typical arrastra. It's not the one that was located at Pine Grove. I didn't find any evidence of that one. This is a photo of the town from 1880. That was near its peak of population, somewhere around 600 residences. To me, it appears that this photo is looking towards the west, up the canyon. And what makes me believe that is that the building on the lower left looks like it is the Pine Grove Hotel. This is a similar view. You can see the Pine Grove Hotel there on the lower left. This view is looking south and west. This is a view looking to the east, going down the canyon of Pine Grove. Just flying right now over the Pine Grove Hotel. That brown hill in the back there is known as Sugarloaf Hill. There were some 600 people in this valley at one time. Gold was first discovered by Wilson. They say along the north face of the canyon, you can see a lot of evidence of the mining that was going on. You see a lot of exploration, a lot of tailings all along that north slope there. It's very clear there was quite a bit of mining going on in that immediate area. Here's another view of the Pine Grove Valley here as we come off the top where the cemetery was. We're headed to the south right now. You can see an overview of the canyon as we turn and look east. Here's a view to the southeast. In the distance there on the slope, you can see what was Wheeler Mine that was established in 1868, only a few years after the Wilson Mine. The Wheeler Mine is said to have produced $3 million in revenue back in 1870. Today's dollars, that equates to about $68 million, so a very significant amount of money. Here's a few pictures of a stone foundation and wall. Some believe that it was the leftover or the remnants of a store, perhaps. It's pretty amazing that this structure is still standing as well as it is. Most of these buildings were built around 1890s or a little bit earlier. The elevation up here is over 6,800 feet, so they get pretty good snow up here. Other than a few people vandalizing and shooting holes in the ceilings and whatnot, this building is in very good shape. It's had to be a livery or a workshop of some sort. This photograph here is said to be the Pine Grove Hotel. It's dated in 1895. The photo is courtesy of the University of Nevada, Reno in their special collections. Here's a photo of that same building today, some 127 years later. Pretty amazing. The building behind me there is supposedly a lodge. It's amazing to me how well this structure has held up from around the 1870s before 1900. You can see though that this is a canyon and they probably get washouts every once in a while, and that's the reason why you see that lower level filled up with silt. Here we are just looking around inside this lodge. Looks like it was extremely well built for the time. A lot of good heavy timber to help last through the snow loads. According to what I'm reading, this town existed in its heyday between the 1870s and 1890s, with a little bit of activity around 1910. I don't know exactly when this building is from, but either way, it's in pretty good condition considering the harsh weather conditions we get up here. Here's a photograph of the one-room schoolhouse, what it looks like today. And here's a photo of it back from 1895. It's pretty impressive that it's still in this good a shape. Here's what the inside of that school building looks like. Unfortunately, people have decided to put graffiti in places, which I'll never understand, but here it is. This one-room schoolhouse was located right adjacent to a 10 stamp mill. I wouldn't understand why you would put a school so close to such a noisy piece of equipment. Had to be very distracting. These photos show only 5 stamps on this mill. However, in the concrete foundation, you could see there was room and location for another 5 stamps. I suspect that was probably salvaged and moved to another location, which was quite normal at that time. Pine Grove, at its height, actually had 5 saloons, 3 hotels, multiple stores, blacksmith shops, a dance hall, barber shops, a school, livery stable, and 2 doctors' offices. The other stamp mill that was operating is said to have been a 20 stamp mill that was located a little further down the canyon at Wheeler Mine. There's no evidence or remnants of that mill standing. I'm sure it was dismantled and taken to other places. Mining was very robust in the 1880s, and then after the economic depression in the US in 1893, mine production was slowly abandoned. Work started again in the mines between 1900 and 1910, but the production never reached the activity of the 1870s and 1880s. There was limited prospecting in the area in the early 1900s, but all mining had ceased by 1918. The remaining town residents left Pine Grove in the 1930s. Here's a photo of some men at the entry of a mine. They're standing next to a steam boiler. They claim that the photo was taken in 1880. The mine entry right there in the center of the photo, this could possibly be the same location. I'm not certain though. This is a photo of a 12-horse team hauling freight up to the Pine Grove Canyon. It's dated 1880. There was a stagecoach and freight line that was established, and it connected the mining town with nearby Wellington in the Smith Valley. On the north side of the canyon and up on the hill is the cemetery for Pine Grove. Got a lot of headstones. Some of the wood ones are no longer there, but there's several stone ones. We'll go take a look at that. Check it out. This is the road that we came up to get there. It appears that there was really no formal layout of the Pine Grove Cemetery on top of the hill. Some graves have fencing or wood posts, and others are marked only by rocks. There are several headstones ranging from very simple to beautifully engraved marble. One of the most notable gravestones is that of Alice Maria Robinson. She was a 15-year-old girl, and it states that her final request was to be an angel. Over the years, visitors have left a variety of angels and flowers and other memorials for Alice. Many think that Alice's last request was from a poem. Nevertheless, it is very beautifully written. I want to be an angel, and with angels stand, a crown upon my forehead, a harp within my hand.
Well, what'd you guys think of that video? Wasn't that a great trip? It's pretty impressive. Those buildings that were still there today are over 120 years old, and some of them in the condition that they are in. It's pretty impressive. One of the most powerful things that I saw up on that cemetery area was the headstone of a young lady of 15 years old, or young girl. Her name was Alice, and that her last wish is that she wanted to be an angel. That's powerful. So hopefully you guys like the video. If you like the content, please hit the like button and also hit the subscribe. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching.